Hey everyone, let's make a wiki site based off MediaWiki, the same program that Wikipedia uses for its wiki format. Hope you enjoy. Hello again everyone, my name's Devin and this is QuickProgramming. Today I figured let's do something a little different. Let's make a wiki site, something that I've been wanting to do for a while just for experience, and I figured it'd be fun to show you guys how I did mine. I based my site off MediaWiki, which is the same program that Wikipedia uses, and I put it in the cloud in Azure. I'll show you how to do both in this video. So you can see we're going to start off in Azure. If you click on New and then type in MediaWiki, the template that we want to use is this MediaWiki, the Hello Vault one, and we're just going to go ahead and click Create. You can name it whatever you want. It just has to be unique within the Azure Websites.net framework. I'm going to name mine Hello Wiki, and my subscription is pay as you go, and I'm going to create a new resource group, and I'm going to call it Wiki RG for resource group. You can name yours whatever you want. It's just a way of packaging up together all your resources that you need for the wiki. I'm going to create a new app service plan. We're creating a new website, so it needs an app service plan. For my pricing tier, I'm going to go with something a little bit cheaper than standard, and I'm going to go with free. For my database, I'm going to create a new database. It has to be a MySQL database because that's the one that MediaWiki uses. Hello WikiDB sounds good to me. I'm going to go ahead and try that one. Database type, I'm going to go with shared. I don't need a dedicated one. And for my pricing tier, I'm going to go with free for that as well. But you can always change this later on if your site really hits it off and gets a lot of traffic. But for right now, that's all I need. You have to click on legal terms. And basically what this is saying is that your pricing tier, whatever one you pick, is not part of your... If you have a subscription with Azure for free money every month, free credits, then this is not going to be part of that. It'll be billed separately. So mine, the one that I picked, is free. So for our web app settings, I'm going to pick mainly the defaults on this. You can go ahead and create whatever you want. I'm going to go line through line so you can figure out what's what though. So this one, the table prefix. So this is for if you have a shared database and you want to make sure that all your wiki tables are well labeled and you know what they are. So in this case, they give you the default MW for MediaWiki _, so you'll always know what your wiki tables are if you have a shared database. If you don't have a shared database, it doesn't matter either way, but you can always leave it. It doesn't hurt anything. The name of your wiki is important. It'll be the one that shows up whenever you go to your wiki. I'm going to leave mine as my wiki just for default, but you please go ahead and make the change here. It's a lot easier if you make the change here than after you've created the wiki. You can pick either English or German for your languages. I'm going to pick English because I don't speak German. And for your admin name, pick admin name and password that you're going to remember. The name will be shown to you later on. The password, if you forget it, then you're going to have to reset it. For MediaWiki file upload, if you click on this, it says that basically, do you want people to upload files to your wiki? I'm going to pick no. It just makes things a lot easier for this, but if you click yes, then it's not that much more details. So if you want that, then go ahead and click yes. Now, if you want the Windows Azure Storage as file backend, I'm going to click yes. Basically, this is for all your files. You want it to be stored in Windows Azure Storage. And when you do that, you have to pick an Azure account name and storage key. So I'm not okay with the defaults on this. I would not leave these at all. You can name the account name whatever you want. It has to be all lowercase though, just remember that. And for the purpose of my account key, I'm going to basically give it a whole bunch of random numbers. In your case, what I would do is go onto a website for a random number generator and pick a random number. And it's good if it's alphanumeric and possibly includes symbols too. All that will be accepted by this. And just remember that you have to save that. So your ID is, if you click this, it says the prefix to container names that are unique to the wiki. Basically, your storage account and anything else that your wiki needs just to function. I'm going to leave it as default. If I really wanted to go for it, I would say Hello Wiki. Okay, now that we've done all that, you can turn on App Insights if you'd like. I'm going to leave mine off for testing purposes only. But if I was to go to prod with this, I would turn it on. And I'm going to pin to dashboard and create. So there was a bit of a problem whenever I was creating my wiki. It kept failing to deploy. So I waited a few days and now it's working again. So my new wiki is created. It's called TestWiki1. I'm going to click the URL to go to it, and you can see that MediaWiki 1.26 was installed, and the local settings.php has not been found. This you'll get whenever you finish the MediaWiki setup page. So let's get started. You can choose your language and the language of your wiki. You can change this later as well. I'm going to leave mine as English. This is great information to just have in the back of your mind, but there's nothing to do here, so just hit the continue button. Here I'm going to stick with MySQL as my backend database type. You could pick a different database if you wanted to, but MySQL is the primary, as they say, the primary target for MediaWiki, and it's the most used. And it's also the one that we've created for our account. You can see that it's now asking for your database host, name, and the table prefix. You can go ahead and change the table prefix if you want, but the default was MW_, and I left it like that for this one. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the information and then click continue. You can find out all this information in the Azure portal. So continuing on, I'm going to pick the storage engine of EnoDB and the database character set of binary. If you want to know a little bit more about each of these options and the options on future pages, you can click the help button and it gives you a little snippet. The defaults are usually the most picked option, the better pick option. So I would just usually stick with the default if you don't know why they're asking you these questions. So you can rename your wiki to whatever you want now. I'm going to name mine to TestWiki just to show what's up with it. And now you can create a username and password. This username and password will give you admin access to the wiki, so you want to make sure that you remember this information. You can do one of two things here. You can ask me more informations, or I'm bored already, just install the wiki. I would suggest going through the asking more questions flow. There are just a few more pages of questions, and it really helps your wiki to be a little bit more robust. So I'm going to continue going through that flow. So now you get to this screen, and the first options to pick are the user rights profile. So once again, it kind of tells you what each option is. The Open Wiki is the option where anybody, they don't have to be logged in, can make edits to your wiki. Another option is creating an account is required before you can make edits. Authorized editors only or private wiki. If you're doing this for an organization, you might want to pick a private wiki or an authorized editors only, something like that. In the case of an open wiki though, I would not probably pick open wiki. I would pick account creation required, because then if anybody's messing around on your wiki, and it's just easier to monitor the activity. This copyright and license section is very interesting. You don't need to know the ins and outs of licensing. However, if you click the help option, it'll again explain to you what's up. I would pick this Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike. It mentions that if you're going to share anything from the Wikipedia wiki, then you need to have this license and copyright information. So since Wikipedia is such a great resource, I say let's go with that option. You can enable outbound emails. This is important for confirming account creation via email and a few other things. I would suggest changing the return email address to something that actually is an email address. And you can pick any of these options that you want. I think they're fairly self-explanatory. I'm going to just stick with the defaults for right now. The skins, the look and feel of your wiki, these are the ones that are included automatically, and you can switch between them later on, or you can keep them as they are. The default is vector. I'm going to go with Cologne Blue just for fun. I've done a vector one and it looks alright, but I want to try something else. Your extensions are right here. These are the main extensions that you can use. If you want any help learning a little bit more about extensions, there's a very, very well detailed MediaWiki site for all their extensions. I'm going to go ahead and not pick any extensions for right now though. For images and file uploads, you can enable file uploads, and essentially what will happen is your images are going to be stored in the resources assets directory, and which is fine for right now. You can select where you want them, and then this will be the deleted images. You can see that the logo URL is given a location right here. You can change this, make any edits you want. The logo is at the top of the page right here, and you can change that very easily by just replacing this file with whatever image file that you want to use instead. It's recommended that the size is 135 pixels by 135, so just keep that in mind. And for the wiki that I created, I went with PHP object caching just to make things a little faster. The default is no caching, which is fine for a small wiki. I don't think it really impacts that strongly, but I like caching, so I went with PHP caching. I did not use memcache because it requires, like it says, additional steps, and at this point I was just like, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Now you're at the end of the wizard, so you can just click back if you have any questions on anything that you picked, and you can research into it a little bit further, or if you're absolutely fine with everything, hit the continue button. Here you can see that the install went fine. There was one problem after creating the admin account. They noticed that they couldn't access our SSL certificate information. So that's not a big deal. It just means that we're not automatically subscribed to the MediaWiki announce information for things like updates and that kind of thing. I think that's acceptable. Just hit the continue button to continue. This step is absolutely essential. Your wiki will not work without it. You have to upload your local settings to your server that you created. I have another video that shows how to FTP to Azure websites. Just follow that information and you'll see how you can FTP and access the server location information. As you can see, local settings PHP was downloaded. I am going to go ahead and FTP. So here I am, I've FTP'd into my Azure website called testwiki1, and all you have to do is copy your local settings PHP that the installation wizard already gave you and just paste it there. And you can see now it's here. Just to explain what local settings is, and I'm by no means a PHP whiz, but essentially it's all your application settings that are specific to your application. This is the file that you'll make any edits to if you have to make any edits. You can take a look at it, and you may want to familiarize yourself by taking a look at it. It has things like the site name, the server name, etc. So if you're ever going to change where your wiki lives, then you'll have to edit this file. So now that you've done that, all you have to do is enter your wiki, and you can see that it has the blue theme that we were going for. The default theme looks a lot more like for say Wikipedia or something like that. This theme it's interesting. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of it, but you can see everything. You can log into your account up here. Sorry if it's not on screen. I'm going to log in and I'm going to show you something that I noticed when I was creating mine real quick. One thing that I did notice that is kind of a big pain in the butt is the fact that I didn't receive a confirmation email asking me to confirm my account. If you go into under my pages, the preferences, you'll see that your email address is not yet confirmed. No email will be sent for any of the following features. So you can't enable email for other users, and you can't receive emails for any reason. There is the default email setup using, I believe, POP3. It does not work, or at least it doesn't for me. So essentially what I had to do was I created a SendGrid application to basically help with SMTP email. So the free tier allows 25,000 emails per month to be sent, which is well more than I'll be needing for my tiny little wiki. And then it just kind of goes up from there. If you go into the paid schemes, then it's very, very nice. If you're interested in learning how to set one of those up, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to create a video and walk you through that process. I feel like this video is getting a little bit on the long end, so I'm going to cut it off. I hope you enjoyed the video though, and if you have any comments, please leave them below. If you did like the video, please hit the like button, and if you like the channel in general, hit the subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.